Why can't I do that?
Yeah, it's like, well, apparently it's live and not really fresh.
Where are
Yeah,
you? I'm back. Boom. Let's do this. You're in the Daosha. Jesus. Right, so Sapphire, you said. Can you hear Sunscape? Is that coming through?
Yeah, Cyrus didn't stop.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the birds have been happily cheating
Even
away.
without the internet, it still works. You wanted to speak directly to Sarsarin, yeah?
Yeah, if I could.
Right.
Even if it's just a short message, even if it's 25 words or less.
Why can't I? That's annoying, mate.
That's a weirdly specific thing to ask.
Much like you looked at a spell card when you came up with that number.
Yeah.
There's a certain blue tiefling that I got very, very good at watching.
That's weird. I
It
can't.
took sending in one of my other campaigns, and my god, was it hard to try and get 25 words. Jesus.
Yeah, it's not easy. Right, so Xerxes. It is more than doable. I can send over a great distance, or I can arrange for you maybe 5 minutes of one-to-one rather than just a few words. We have such items here that are potent in their magical properties.
As long as that wouldn't be too ponderous for you, as long as it wouldn't take up too much of your time and.
No. I can show you to what we call the quiet room. Some of the students converse with family and friends. They spend a lot of time here during their training, so it gives them access to family and friends. It can only be used twice a day, though. So if you, I believe, Dean just kind of looks over. All right, still twice. Yeah, so there's still 2 uses of it if you wish to contact more than one person. But we can arrange that for you.
Could I be? I wouldn't want to use up both of those, but could I be cheeky and use one and ask you to perform a sending for me? One of the people I want to contact is someone that I don't think would be able to talk aloud freely.
Okay. We can certainly try. You wish to do that now? Do you prefer the sending or the...
If it's possible to do the sending first, that way I can have some more information to give to my friend. I don't know how magic works. He looks a bit uncomfortable. The person I want to contact is my Sensei Rin, but I believe he's captured at the moment. I wouldn't want to talk to him directly, as I think he's around unsafe people.
Sensei Rin. I do believe I am aware of Sensei Rin.
Oh, his mobile number. Give us a bash. I've got the sending stone in here somewhere.
I'll just be really loud so they can't hear it.
It shouldn't take too long. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. It's still really hot.
Okay. Sensei Rin sometimes frequents the Kithlar Adusian over in the Dynasty. We have been there ourselves and have met on occasion. Sensei Rin was offered position there as a mentor, but turned it down a few years ago.
He did indeed.
But
He
yes,
has his own path for teaching, but yes.
most certainly. But I can definitely perform a sending for Sensei Rin. Be a lot harder to do for your friend, as well, they're your friend and unknown to me.
They are at the Kithlar Adusian, though, if that is helpful. My other friend, for connecting whatever this one-on-one thing is.
Oh, the one-on-one you will activate, so you can connect to who you wish to.
Okay. Oh, that's even better. Then I guess what I want to say to Sensei Rin is, Are you being kept relatively safe?
You're alright, you walked to the shop.
Can we do anything to help?
Good night.
I was counting them.
Eeny, meeny.
That would have been helpful. I was saying it so I could count them, and my brain just went, nah. 2 things at once, mate. Can't do it.
You get back. Not long now. Stay away. I'm proud of you. And that's all you get.
Oh, shit. It was my trigger words.
Winter Soldier activation.
Busted out the Kleenex early today.
Sapphire's eyes are like yeah, he's trying not to, but there's clearly some they're a little bit more moist. Didn't they were before? Okay, that helps a little, I suppose. Not long now. I hope that's a good thing and not a bad thing, I guess. But thank you for doing that. I just wanted to make sure I can contact people sometimes when I meditate, but last time I did, someone else was able to. I mean, I've been intercepted before, and I've been thrown out of it sometimes. And
when you project yourself astrally, you're stepping into a realm as firm as ground beneath your feet to others. They live there, breathe there. It is their realm. So
that makes more sense. It wasn't something that I was actually taught to do. I kind of stumbled into it accidentally.
You've done well than not to be caught fatally.
Gonna use that a little bit more sparingly. Thank you for that information. Thank you. If someone else wants to go, I can do the sending. I can do the talk to Sisurin later. I don't want to take up all the time on just me.
Well, I'm here for you all, so.
Yeah, absolutely, we can go to the teaching, but Ruby B, she's not hiding, she's not avoiding it because she knows it's important, but she's definitely not like front and center. Like,
I volunteer.
So probably have to go and find her.
So we'll say Ruby's gone for a wander to explore her curiosities of the place and not avoid math.
Cut to Ruby going, shit.
She'll have found whatever passes for a garden. Even if that is a bit of ruin that's a little bit overgrown with a couple of ferns or something, she's turning it into a garden.
There is quite a lot of potted plants about the place and about the ruins. There are small patches where the stonework's broken, and there is like clumps of soil where it must have been brought here because it's high up. The castle is on a cliff, and you don't really go much into the ground level that leads out into the path that would lead down the cliff. Most of at least all the students and the mentors seem to be a level or two up where you landed on the airship. They haven't gone down, but you can see down, and you see it's a bit overgrown and such on the ground floor, but there's plenty of greenery and such.
Yeah, whatever sort of like patches and like little rockeries that people have tried to make are like good, it's becoming more and more actual garden-like, and less people have tried to like make a plant grow there.
Tess will bimble out after Ruby because he heard we're avoiding math, and also to make sure that she does actually go eventually to do the scroll thing, because he's like, I get you. I get where you are coming from. I wouldn't want to do it either, but I can't do it, and you have to. So
Okay.
Harry's
So-
the king
Boy,
bee
did
wanting
it.
to learn all about the things, you know.
Boy,
The
did
one
it.
that's
I'm
trained in
starting to
history and
fancy
arcana.
So,
Think.
as you are potting around, Ruby, you can't help but feel Xerxes is always nearby. She doesn't approach you. She just stands nearby. Her arms are folded in the folds of her robe. She just stands there smiling. Her scales and fish-like ears, the finned ears, she just stands tall and very proper, but allows you your time to wander. And it's always maybe, I don't know, between 30 and 40 feet away from you, just pauses. She's not trying to hide her out, she's just allowing you your time.
just watch someone like that, which Ruby won't articulate out loud, but did what? She will like talk to her. She's not just gonna like, oh, you know, I'm gonna let you pretend like. There's no, I haven't noticed you. There's no, you're standing there being mysterious. There is, you're standing there watching me, and it's kind of weird. So you can either have a conversation with me, and it'll be nonsense. The weather, what she's doing to whatever is there. Should she make these grow pink or purple?
Pink.
The climbing briar roses. One of the buds starts to show a very pale shade of pink.
Have you always been able to do that?
I think no, but I can't remember. Yeah, like walking. I've not always been able to walk. No one is always, but I don't remember having to learn.
Any of your family in tune as you are? I know those of Tower are very invested in the land around them, but there's only a few.
Loads of druids in Tower. No, Mum's got a little bit of magic. Carl's pretty good with fabrics and cloths. Rob's pretty good with nature, but he's not good with magic. Yeah.
What made you
But of
come so
course-
far?
Sorry?
What made you come so far? Tower is miles and miles and miles to the east from where we are now.
Oh, well, I left, I went for a walk. Kind of kept going. And then I met this lot and started following them around because wasn't in a hurry, nothing else to do.
And now you're trying to kill powerful blood wizards and echoes and demons. Hell of a walk.
Apparently it should have been more of one, but all that lava and frost when you get there, it's really just meadows.
You walk the land of fire and ice. She just gestures. You probably know it's east, being a druid.
Well, so they say. When we got to the wall and I looked back the way I must have come, because it was the first place that high I'd ever been, that's what you see, but it's not what I saw.
Interesting.
Met someone in a stupid helmet once. He says he was there and I escaped him, but he can't have been chasing very hard because I wasn't walking very fast.
Clearly, well, I've nothing to come back to that actually. There was I am at your disposal to teach you the words on the scrolls your friend Sapphire created.
Alright.
I have other things I can aid with your friends, or I have teachings to do for the students. But whenever you are ready, please let me know.
No, let's do it then, so I can get back to gardening.
We can do it here in the gardens if you wish.
Alright.
She will put
Sort of
the
like brush the worst of the soil off the hands, but
Xerxes will sit, roll out the scrolls in front of her, and just ask you what you see. So can you give me an intelligence check, please? So D20 plus your intelligence modifier.
Yeah, intelligence for Ruby's a flat D20. Which is a 12.
You do see more now that it's been spoken about, and the scribbles of Sapphire before, without any real context to them, look just like that, scribbles. But now you're aware of what's been said regarding the magic within them. You are aware of exactly what you just said. You don't remember walking, but you know nature. You know that there is a magic to it. It's just as common as a Monday. But you can see it now in the scrolls, and that where before it might have looked like a strange druidic glyph that you might have seen back in the Highlands, it really is. And it is warming to see that the druidic writings on these scrolls pop and remind you of healing spells. But then there is a sadness to them, as you can see arcane sigils beneath the druidic glyphs and the scriptures that are of a binding nature. And there is that almost like coming across a trap in the forest or a snare and one of the creatures caught in it. And you get that sort of vibe from the scroll as you look at it.
So Ruby will sit opposite with the scrolls between them and look. Well, now it's been pointed out, I sort of see patterns. Like here, there's like a spiral, like a snail shell, and like start to go through. But then here it's like bars have been put across it, or a pit's been dug on it, and sort of as you've described it, but in more Ruby speak. So pointing out the patterns that she can see.
Canon going down as a language that you can choose as an adventurer. Ruby speak.
Well, I mean, she probably speaks half, and she seems clever. Yeah. You can do it in halfling, druidic, silver, whatever you want, but
I ain't doing math. Xerxes will point at the glyphs as you're talking about them, and she's kind of pointing out what you're saying, and she's just following it herself, as if not to show you, but she's seeing what you're saying almost for the first time.
Like I'm pointing out constellations of the stars, yeah.
And she's just following your words. And then she turns the scrolls, so they're kind of, landscape rather than portrait to you. What do you see here? Give me another intelligence check, please.
Ooh, 15 this time. I've been waiting this morning.
There is... You instantly put together, you can pick out druidic magic, arcane magic. You even see some celestial in there mingled around the edges of the arcane and the druidic. But then you see a almost scribbled, like an angry child trying to colour in a book, where they just colour through the paper because they're pushing too hard. This scrawl of a glyph that's been not quite formed and twisted and broken, akin to if someone was to sign something, a signature of sorts on this scroll. But it is very much part, and you can see the veins of energy, like a metallic ink, that form the glyphs on these scriptures that Sapphire has created, that wasn't there when Sapphire was just looking around and passing around to see what was there. But you can see the magic in the scroll now.
So as Xerxes points that out, Ruby will look at it, like just trying to look at it upside down, and well, that's new.
This is Corbin's signature. Every wizard, as a side effect of their learning, It is almost a cast-off of the energies they use when they perform magics. It is not innate to us like sorcerers or druids or those of faith. It is book-learnt. These signatures, if you can see them, and I don't mean to sound condescending, but it is very impressive that you can see a wizard signature among these scrolls. It is, of what we've learnt, the signature of a wizard can be a very potent component in their magics, because it is all of them in their casting, but also a very powerful component to turn against them. Like a piece of them is left within the parchment that can be focused or anchored or used in greater magics.
It's like knowing someone's real name, I understand.
She smiles, and her fish-like long fish fin ears kind of wiggle. Yeah. She will continue backwards and forwards, pointing out on the two different scrolls the certain areas that are celestial, or following you when you say that looks celestial or that looks druidic, and she'll agree with you or turn the scroll ever so slightly and ask you if it still looks celestial or if it still looks arcane. And that will go on for a period of time. And whilst that's happening, what else would the other three like to do?
Kess has realised that Ruby's been tricked into learning, so he is counting bricks on the side. He's like, I can't garden. And then he realised he's been tricked into math.
Why does he go and do his embroidery?
To be fair, Kess tricked himself.
Yeah, look, he's not a smart man. Yeah, he'll, I suppose, go restart some embroidery because we plug it into the fire, what he had left. So he'll go stay out the way of the buses, let the kids do some learning. If there's somewhere where maybe, I don't know, where did the other people who are here?
The students?
Yeah.
They are pretty much, it is, imagine a very, very large, like climbing frame. You know, the kiddies climbing frames?
Yeah.
Like soft play. So there's people all over on the weird angles where the stone's falling away, and they're doing archery, they're backflipping, they're swinging swords, they're throwing out cantrips. There is a playful nature to them. There's about, you've clocked 8 at the minute of folks that are clearly not of any responsibility is not the right word, but they ain't the teachers.
Have been left unattended.
There is, everywhere you twist and turn, where in these rooms of this castle there are like refreshment stations. It's clearly summoned water and food. I mean, the water is crystal clear. You can almost smell it. I mean, being a desert warrior, when there's, you know, beautiful waters nearby, your fair nature almost connects to it. Siren boy. But yeah, you are kind of amongst the playground at the minute of these students jumping around. And there are half elves. There is, I can tell you, you see a soul forged. You've only seen 2 of these so far. One being Garina, the diplomat of the ambassador of the House of the Forge, and Natathrin in her massive thing. You see someone who reminds you of Griff, your Kenku friend from Chukruani, in the bright oranges and blues and that sort of like Aztecian sort of colorations across their robes and ponchos and such. They are not a Kenku. They have they've got a feline nature to them, but appear to be of a human aesthetic. There is a very tall, gold blonde hair, lightning blue-eyed lad running around. There is a human, pretty short. Eyes are dark, light brown hair in a ponytail, sword and shield, stood stoic, rinse and repeating patterns and weapon styles against an exact replica of themselves. that every time they land a blow disappears and they summon it back. You see somebody who is, as Sapphire is of Viconia and the Vey dynasty, you see someone of Viconia and Ravenholm. In particular, the reds and white sort of, I've forgotten it because it's been so long, like the
double-breasted
coat that comes over. But they've got furs around it. They are big and strong, like Sapphire. Not as big and strong, but they've got that thicker build rather than ripped. And they clash of, well, someone that follows the Red Lady, as you see the red cloak on their symbology, and of Viconia. Where you see their flesh, it is covered in runes that remind you of some of the trinkets and fetishes in Sapphire's men. And they are of a half-elven appearance. You see a grey orc. Go on.
Oh, no. Power on, my
guy.
The
other three, you see a grey orc who is juggling magical orbs. They are very smiley, like they're really enjoying just bouncing around. They're doing forward rolls, they're spinning, they're dancing, and again juggling these orbs, making them disappear, throwing them against the wall, and then stepping away, and just the balls just continue, the orbs continue to bounce to an invisible juggler. And the other two you see, one reminds you of Xandria. When she walks past you, she
slaps you in the back.
Yeah.
Of it. Yeah.
Her eyes are like the green of holly leaves, like real dark green. Very pale skin. Her hair is very similar to Xandria's, and it's very thick and abundant. Braids all through it, but it is of a deep red. She has a couple of small fangs, and she is practicing with a bow and arrow, white feathered arrows. And the one that probably stands out the most. Now, you started your adventure in party days in Ebbendorf, who are well known for those hybrid beasts and humanoids. But you also learnt that they are made. Whereas those from Chukwurani, where Griff's from, are of a more natural. That's who they are. There's such thing as a Minotaur, but there's also such thing as these hybrids that are magically created. What you see before you is a natural Loxodon. Towers over Sapphire if they were to stand next to each other by about a foot. Their tusks are covered in tally marks, maybe 100 on each side. Their tusks have got silver, like what do you call it, like caps on the end. Their ears are heavily scarred, chunks missing out of them, like bite marks missing out of them. Their skin is super dark grey and looks old. It's gravy time. I gotta do it. Long pink scars across the face and such. They wear a robe, but it only covers their bottom half. Their top half is just two thick slabs of chest. And they've got a massive copper greatsword that they're just wielding like a longsword. What they do remind you of in their... give me an insight check.
Oof. Me rolling dice.
I might as well.
It's been ages since I've done a wee insight check. Okay. That is a 19.
They remind you of Owlbearer. The way they stand, that sort of aura they hold. There's just something familiar about the way they hold themselves.
Same vibe, different font. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are your 8 students that you see pottering about in various places.
I think what he'll do is he'll kind of settle himself down at a point where like he can keep an eye on what they're all doing, he can like keep an eye on Ruby to make sure that she's not getting like too uncomfortable with it. And he'll just pull out what's left of kind of a scrap of fabric, and he'll start working on a bit of embroidery to give to Selena at some point.
Cool. Harry, you got out planned?
Got out planned.
Some of these 8 are hot. You know what I
I mean, they're outside. I don't think he's outside, so I think he's noticing. God damn it. I mean, he would have if he goes outside, but currently he's
Maybe the last thing he ever notices.
yeah.
Xandra's not here, Harry. Xandra's not. What happens in the Dark Shadows?
Oh no. Jade said we could Jaeger a character, and I don't think that much.
Jade's in the chat. By the way.
So what would you like to do, Harry?
Harry wants to have a word with Xerxes at some point about, probably when they come back in, about Stefan and how they were as a student. And then also wants to have a chat with Dean.
Dean the Halfling.
Yes. Who mentioned about going to the Echo Realm with Stefan.
Okay. So as Xerxes is kind of busy with young Ruby, Dean is adjusting his 4 short swords in their 3rd scabbards, 2 on his back, 1 at each hip. Is kind of half clearing away what was there. It seems that most of what was summoned, you don't really notice when, but in between, it's some of the stuff there seems to be actual real and not a summoned bit of food or drink. And he's tidying it away, giving it a bit of a clean, and then he's placing it back in his backpack. He puts a lot more in his backpack that's just on the floor next to him. It was in there when you all first came in, and it's definitely of a magical vibe. And he's just filling it with a couple of tankards, a wooden plate, some cutlery. He grabs some of the fruits that are still there. Others just fade away as if, magic brushed, but a couple remain. You don't know if he's forcing them to stay or if it's different. But he's having a good old time packing. It seems like you would after a long camp. You don't fancy going outside? Staying in here?
Yeah, eventually I'll go out, but I just wanted a quiet chat, to be honest.
I'll do my best. Xerxes doesn't normally call me quiet. And Rose, the Goliath, as she's walking away, you are far from quiet. And just heads out. She's the smiley one.
Sounds like the way we are. We're very, not exactly welcoming to each other all the time, shall we say. Otherwise known as taking the piss. Quite fun.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just, you said about Stefan and the Echo Realm and all that kind of stuff, that he didn't want to contact anybody, and he wants to try and get through to him, and you wanted some help to try and do that.
Well, he ain't listening to me, and you're his brother. Your ma and pa are miles away. You're my only hope, Eagle. My only hope. And he starts laughing.
Don't know if I'll be that good at getting through to him, but I can certainly try. Like, if we could get hold of Darius, that would probably be a better chance, but last I saw him, he was with Elva and the forces at the wall, and I don't know what's become of him. So, yeah, it's been a time. It's been a time.
Drink. Just offers you a hit flask. It's strong. Xerxes will go bananas, it'll be funny as.
He'll definitely take a swig and then offer his hip flask in return and just be like,
Aye. The stuff you're drinking could probably kill a rhino at 400 paces.
yeah, I feel like he probably took one swig and then was like, I'll stick to my own.
I mean, if Ruby finds out that Dean's got the good stuff from back tower, she put the last of hers into the fire at midwinter, so she'll be after a refill.
Nah, this is brewed in a bath round the corner.
Yeah, so the stuff that Ruby had.
Stuff Ruby drinks for kids. So, after the exchange of drinks, he sits back down, puts his feet on the table. So what do you want to talk about? Other than the obvious of Stefan. You got a plan? Fancy going? I could take us there. Go right now if you want.
I was just like traumatized the last time he was in the Echo Realm.
None of us made good decisions in the Echo Realm.
Everybody made good decisions in the Echo Realm, honest.
That's not what my notes say.
Somebody lost some death sticks as well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Leave me out of it. I'm doing my sewing in the thing. Leave me be.
Busy doing your embroidery. You're fine. We're just having a quiet conversation about going and getting in trouble again.
How are you holding up? I know it's not great out there. I mean, I've been here for years, but if I saw home on fire, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, pretty much. We went through the copper forest as that was being decimated, and I saw Cass and Andrea's faces as that happened, and I thought I felt the empathy for it. Yeah. Seeing somewhere that you love just completely destroyed is
Just a wound. We'll leave it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to be a hell of a scar. But we'll do what we can to heal it.
we'll do what we can to avenge it.
I could be an Avenger. Besides, Xerxes won't pay me if I don't do carry the heavy lifting round here.
Yeah, I think we can go to the Echo Realm at some point. Just not right now.
That's fine. Just remember, people still dying whether you go now or you go tomorrow.
Good point. You'll probably at that point kind of end up going outside and seeing what everyone else is up to because it all buggered up out there.
Rose will approach you, Sapphire, the Goliath, with Smiler.
Okay.
As she
He just
approaches,
smiles. Hello.
she chokes on a crisp.
Oh no.
Just method, you know what I mean?
Hey, I'm not crying, it's fine. Totally method, right?
Yeah. Born method, Mel.
Do it to me again, no problem.
Xerxes tells me you wish to use the soundless orb. This way. She just turns and walks away from me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Catches up with her. Not really a problem for a monk.
Yep. I mean, for someone of the Pride Mountains, I mean, being Viconia, Savoy and the Pride Mountains are very well known for their what's the word? It's a bit harsh up there.
Yep.
Her
That's fair.
her clothing is, I mean, the furs, the silks in between the furs that kind of complement the finer cotton clothing she's wearing. Her copper and silver hair twisted, tight braids everywhere. She very much holds that almost regal look of someone that would be considered a monarch in Viconia, or survive that sort of aesthetic. The mountain folk. But she's quite short, 5.5 feet.
For a Goliath.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, she's short.
But she holds herself as giants would. But you can also see that she's old. Like, she still has a not youthful look to her, but a quite a decent complexion for someone that you can see in her eyes and just her manner of speech and such that she is. Well, she's an old lady, but she does walk with perfect grace, similar to yourself, leading you down a couple of broken steps that she deftly just, as well practiced, where the ones are missing and there's a bit of a gap. She kind of just half hop steps against the wall, uses it to push herself down a couple more. There is a gap, maybe 10 feet to the next step, and it drops down to the lower floors. I mean, you could probably jump down and do a little bit of a tuck and a roll. It might hurt, might not, but she just steps on the air across as if there is something solid there. You test it with your mighty toe beans. There's nothing there. She literally walked on air across.
Okay, I will jump it, and I have a natural slow fall ability, so I'll...
Yeah.
Whee.
Give me an athletics check just for giggles.
Yeah. Watch me break an ankle going down these steps.
And that reroll was on the first stream, so it don't carry. You know what I mean?
Athletics. Oh, I'm fine. That's a 21.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Stones, like, getting your way deliberately to help you across.
Shifting of tectonic plates, just a line.
Across the stairs, you make your way down, and there is when she first opens the door, there's a spiral staircase going up into the air. There's no tower there, but across the way, in that circular room that is the tower, there's another little door that goes into almost like a gardener's shed. That if you were on the outside of the walls would be part of a patch of land that is almost flat from on the cliff top, like a high-rise sort of. You don't really know what they did there. You can see through the broken bits of stone that there's a broken bit of wooden fencing. It's reminiscent to where when you were at Ruby's home, like it's simplistic but homely. It's definitely a farm of sort. You don't know if they grew stuff there or cattle were there or what, but it's just a small enclosure. But the house itself, or the hut, is left as it was when whatever happened to the castle happened, but there is a very, very well set up area, like a deliberately set up area of a very thick brown bear fur on the floor. There is a metalwork sort of yeah, that's right, Sapphire. There is a trinket. There is there is a clawed hand holding up, and on top there is a bright sort of sea green, sky blue sort of swirling marble that is there, and there's a few sitting cushions that have been made in front of it. I present to you the Soundless Orb.
Sapphire just kind of looks. And how do I use it?
Sit. And she sits.
He does the same, opposite.
Are you aware of how to attune yourself to magical weapons?
Oh, yeah.
And armour and items and such?
Yeah, I've done it. I've got a few. I think I've got one.
It will take you maybe a minute of concentration to attune yourself to the orb, and it will give you 5 minutes of conversation with whoever you desire. If you know of them, and I mean anyone. We've had paladins speak to the gods, but you have a 5-minute one where this artifact is ancient beyond even some of the folk of the dynasty, but it is powerful.
Wow.
1 minute of attunement, 5 minutes of conversation with whoever you desire.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't catch your name.
Rose.
Rose. Thank you. You look Viconian, but you move like. I mean, I was trained in Vey.
Well, yes. You are what some of them call monks, whereas I'm just really good at punching things in the face. And for a good punch, you need good movement.
That is accurate. That is very true. That is what helped me learn to fight as well. So that's, yeah, okay. That makes sense. I'll just focus on this then.
I'm going to leave the room
Okay.
for my own safety. I'll leave you with that. And she stands up and walks out. The door closes behind her, and you see a green runic glyph just go whoom on your side of the door and disappear into the wood. And on the other side, you just say, "Good luck."
Why is every way I talk to my friends going to kill me? Okay.
Because you use magic instead of words, Sapphire. So, after 1 minute, as you're sat there and you kind of like look around, there's a bit of a breeze coming through. You attune yourself to the orb, and everything stops. The breeze, like, it stops so instantly that if you reach out your paw, hand, death claw, you can touch the breeze that was just about to flow past you. Like, everything stops except you, but you do feel a little bit. Oh, this is a bit. Whew.
Magic.
Yeah. The orb, though, the swirling blue and green, does not stop, but it begins to clear.
Okay.
Who is Sapphire opening a 5-minute conversation with? Jesus.
I wish Sapphire had known how quite powerful this thing was, a few minutes ago. I guess it will still be Sisurin for now, but now we know this thing exists, I guess.
Use it twice. So.
Yeah. My second time will just be to the true, and I'll be like, no, it won't be. Don't panic, Kess. Don't panic.
Kess looks up.
Face of just being like, "Whoa."
There's just like
Mirror's Bane
someone's
does
doing
not mean
something
Slayer of
stupid.
Paladin.
Thousand
Someone let
souls.
Sapphire alone. What's happening?
Mirror's Bane doesn't mean Slayer of the Paladin of the mirror. It means pain in the ass
Yeah.
of those within the mirror.
Kessfion's Jedi and it. 1,000 souls just died.
Yeah. Kess looks up from the embroidery. There's fuckery afoot. Yeah, I'll focus on Sisurin.
Cool. The green and blue goes right to the edge and makes it almost, when you get a solar eclipse and you get that perfect sort of border, you get that blue and green border on this perfect sphere, which I cannot form with my Shrek hands. But, and you do see a clarity, and it kind of, it doesn't rush in and zoom in, but you've got that strange back blur. But you do see Sisurin crystal clear. The scene you see.
Oh, no.
Preparation, my good friends. Something I've never done in my life. You see Sisurin talking with... Where are you? You see Sisurin talking with Mita Yashushi of the Hakamori.
Okay.
Mita is Amatar is a. You see the sash over their shoulder. They are in, as always, completely all the layered leather armor. They never wear a helmet, but none of the Hakamori wear helmets. They all have a silver band circlet with a gemstone that protects them from psychic attacks and such. On the sash, you see the symbol of Clan Dezugurin, which is the grand clan of the apple blossom, and you see the half-dying flower of pale green, the petals kind of falling down the sash, and at the top where it sits on the shoulder you see the other half of the flower, which is blooming with dark green petals and a cloud of the sash is white, but you get the way they've ruffled it on the top of the shoulder. It looks like clouds above this green. You know that Clan Dezugurin they are the funeral masters of the dynasty, because they are warrior scholars of death, spirits, souls, the unliving, sending those on that have died. Like I said, for your funeral to be tended by the Dezugurin is like you are the greatest of the, or at least respected. You can be a farmer, you can be a sword master, you can be an emperor of great renown, but you'll never have the send-off if the Dezugurin are not there.
Oh, these are the shadow stepping ones, aren't they?
Maybe.
I read my Vey handbook.
Mita is a elf, very long ears, very small silver studs all the way up the bottom part of the long ear, completely smooth shaven head that it's almost like a habit. Whenever you see them, whenever you've been around them, they've always got a small shaving blade that if you're sat having a drink or you're sharing food or whatever, they shave their head. It's just like a habit that they have. Yeah, and you see Sarin talking to them. You hear the words, "the true," "your name," and then Sarin looks in your direction. A beaming smile, kind of steps forward, and then you can see them putting their hands out, and then they kind of settle themselves, realising magic is afoot. But they clearly noticed you enough to think you were there.
Did Mita react to me?
Mita turns and looks in the direction of Sarin, and just nods.
Oh man, I remember Mita being actually someone important.
Sapphire.
Hello, Sai. I am currently in Ravenholm. I'm at the Darshell Adusian.
I wasn't long before the Kithla Adusian. I didn't think you. Oh, I'm glad you made it. Like, there's so much happened since we last spoke.
Yeah, I bet.
I felt you reach out. You're getting strong with that meditation.
I'm doing better with the astral travel, but I've learned some very, very big drawbacks of it as well. I'll say you're meeting with the Hakamori. What's happening?
Yes. Mita, can you see Sapphire? I can. That doesn't move, doesn't say, just literally like I can. Well, yeah. So, there's so much. So, the True. Have you heard of the True? Of course, you haven't heard of the True.
I have heard of the True.
You've heard of the True? Well, I was at the Kiflar and we were speaking. I spoke to a lot of people, but I spent time in their libraries and they showed me. And as you know, some of us and like gestures at Mita and stuff are long lived, and there were stories, and then we heard, and then Sensei Rin, and then the demons. But Mita steps forward then. I see them on you, Sapphire. Their aura is clinging to yours. You have been in the presence of true death, correct?
I have. I was in the realm of echoes. There was a mirror there. Upon touching it, I was transported to another place, and one of them had me trapped. When I was released by taking a drink.
The look on Serin is fear, sadness, guilt. Like there is just a overwhelming emotion rushing through Serin at the sound of, as soon as you say the word, like he's waiting for you to say, and you go drink, and he very much acts as though he didn't want you to say that word. Whereas Mita, we could use this to our advantage. You're at the Dar Shaladusin now, yes?
I am, yes. Also,
Yeah.
I would have said, before he started speaking to Mita,
Yeah.
he would have bowed, like proper, like...
Yeah. Stood up and bowed.
100%, yeah. It would have looked ridiculous, but yeah.
Is the mentor Hick Ro still there? That is
Yes.
yes. Tell them I'm coming to the Dar Shaladusian, not to block the teleport.
I will do so. I will, as soon as I'm done using this device, I will do so.
Serin, he wishes to speak to you. Amita steps back. Stays there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Serin will step forward. I mean, I knew you'd drink.
What do you... What?
You're one of the smartest dumb people I know.
It was ridiculous. It was stupid. I know. I had just found the cure I put into your possession. I wasn't thinking clearly. I had just received such a big boon, and I didn't expect...
The cure is... They've done some tests with it, and it's working, or at least is appearing. We don't know if it's permanent yet, but they're trying to... It's positive. It's positive.
Good. That's a good start. If nothing else, at least then hopefully we've got a basis to go forward. But the temple, the temple was awful. And Sensei, I thought he was dead, but he's not.
Rin's not dead.
No, I thought he was.
Sorry, Sensei Rin, as he feels Mita staring into the back of his head.
No, I thought that too. I was seeing... I was reaching out to him the same way I reached out to you, and the True's followers were using his life force. Something about the way he heals with his Kai.
Yeah, they need things. They each need something. So they need to be given life, even though they've never had it. So they need someone who is not of celestial power, but so Sensei Rin walks the path of mercy. He can use his key to bring somebody back, to give life to those that are dead.
Grant life to the lifeless was how it was described to me. Yes.
Exactly. So they can't kill him. They need him to do that. But surely he wouldn't. They also need... They need other things. They need... I can't remember. And he's definitely overwhelmed by the situation.
It's okay. Calm down. There's a lot going on at the moment. Perhaps if it's... he speaks slightly louder. If it's not too bold... If it's not too bold, Lord Yusushashi, Yusushi even.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Bloody hell.
What happened to Legolas and Aragorn, eh?
If it's not too bold, would it be possible for you to perhaps, when you come here, bring this information? I'm linked to them, and if we need to know what else they need, we have ways to get around it. Maybe not tell me directly if they've got a link to me, but the people I'm traveling with, we've already done so much good for the world.
Mita just nods from behind Sarin.
Thank you.
Mita will step
bows.
forward and just put his hand on Sarin's shoulder. The 3 things they require is Sensei Rin's mercy to give life to the lifeless, a nation of souls,
I'd heard of that too.
and the curse of the Darklings. But that is...
That third one's the only one I don't recognise.
Sarin tells me you travel with Summerfear.
Yes, I do.
What is the words they use? The Archfey of Summer was the one responsible for cursing the Darklings. The Darklings are fair creatures of summer, but they tried to overthrow the Archfey, and they were cursed never to walk sunlight again without it causing them to perish. The Archfey of Summer is not one to be trifled with.
Okay, we've encountered beings like that. Hopefully, maybe not the same ones. We're also trying to deal with these blood pillars. I'm
unaware of the blood pillars.
Maybe they're just a Ravenholm thing. They're an issue to the Fae at the moment and to the land. I can explain better if you're coming here. I won't waste too much of your time now.
Sarin looks at you, looks at Mita. Can I come? It's up to Sapphire.
Yes, like Sapphire doesn't even hesitate. It's like, yeah, I think you should come. Absolutely.
So be it. Inform Hikro. We'll be there before the day is out.
We'll see you both when you get here. Sapphire's bowing while sitting down. It's very awkward.
As Mita walks away, Sarin kind of leans into the area where you're talking. The Hakamori. I'll see you soon. And follows after Mita. There's still 2 minutes left of the thing. Just sat there. You just see Mita and Sarin walk off into the blur.
Oh, that's hilarious. I can't end it early. Can I end it early?
If you wish.
I'll hang up.
No, you get 2 minutes, just be like...
This is awkward.
As soon as it drops...
out of the teleport 4 times.
Please put another quid in. As soon as you cut the message, the door opens and Rosie stood there. Get what you needed?
Yeah.
You need to use it again?
No. Hopefully not. Definitely not right now. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. As she walks past you, picks up a black silk cloth and just drops it on the orb. We'll let it calm down for a bit. We don't want anyone seeing who you've been talking to. Go on, out we go. And starts ushering you out of the room.
Yep, absolutely. Follows her. Sapphire will walk with purpose, but try not to leave her behind. I know she's spry, but just in case, Sapphire can get carried away.
Yeah. She is.
Well, with his Mach 2 speed.
She keeps up in a disturbingly casual way. You reckon if it was a sprint, you'd probably back yourself. But at a casual pace, she doesn't break a sweat keeping up with you.
At that point, well, then in that case, Sapphire will be he won't sprint, but he'll be a bit of a dick. Just speed up, slow down, just check how well she. He's very impressed. He's kind of like, new potential parent figure.
Every time you kind of speed up a little bit and turn around, she's exactly where she was, distance-wise from you, as she was when you just started to speed up.
Mm-hmm.
And she paces with you. So, Ruby.
Yes.
It's been about an hour with people
Yep.
wandering around, and Kestrion's had an hour of crocheting. Can you give me a final intelligence check, please?
Nine.
Cool. Finally, Xerxes has stopped moving and pointing stuff out and following your words. You found yourself comparing them to things that Jimmy did as a kid, and you know they got wooden spike to the fridge. But there is an element of, you can see the creativity or the joyful childlike nature in where these scrolls have been made, which, you know, half a smile on your face because Sapphire did a scratching of these back in the day. But you find Xerxes laughing quite a lot in a new spring sort of laugh. Like there's a new humour to her as she's listening to you describe how the glyphs look. A full-on Ruby speech. This looks like a frog fishing, which is, I assume, what Ruby would say. But yeah, there is very much she's letting you lead it, and she's hardly spoken for the last 20 minutes, and you're just on one about what these scrolls look like, how terrible the arcane handwriting is, how pretty some of the druidic stuff looks, how awful this particular part looks and such. But you kind of stop yourself. Like I said, it's been about an hour. You see Sapphire reappearing with Rosemary behind him, and Xerxes is like, well, that was very entertaining, Ruby. Thank you very much.
Oh, that gets a look. Ruby does not like being patronised. There's every inch of compliance that Ruby has been showing is just completely shut down. Right there.
Cool. That's up to Ruby. She rolls up the scrolls, passes them to you. When you feel the need to cast the magics, I'm sure you will get it right.
Ruby just nods, turns, and walks away. Quite curtly.
Really pissed off Ruby.
Ruby's got issues.
I don't think it was said patronisingly, but
No?
I doesn't hear that obviously from that distance. It's just like, oh shit. Okay.
Intercept!
Xerxes will tidy up the area, like pushing the soil back off the stones into the little area and stuff, just having a little bit of a tidy up around the area. You see Ruby like kind of walk past Sapphire. Kess intercepts you, Ruby.
Everything okay? You okay?
Fine.
That
She's
came
showing-
to a swift end.
I know how to use the scrolls.
Okay. You seem to be having an okay time of it right up until you didn't.
An hour in my presence learning new magic is entertaining. I don't like wizards. Smarmy bastards.
You won't hear otherwise from me. I mean, it doesn't. Kind of looks back over and sees like Xerxes doesn't seem to be bringing an attitude, but I'll just be like, I mean, was it maybe just poor phrasing? Because it seemed like you were both kind of in the zone.
Ruby just shrugs. She doesn't have to be reasonable about this. She's a teenage.
That's what I was like. She's like, no backing down.
No, it's Ruby doesn't know how to articulate it, but those words made her feel exactly the same way when she was laughed at the Sovereign Rabe, that this person is seeing a young idiot, either because of the age or the accent, and all of the playful laughing now feels like it was at her, not with her. So yeah, Ruby has done what she was supposed to do. She's learned the scrolls, but if people are... Yeah.
That's cool. That's
That's
for
how it
Ruby
read.
to interpret it.
That's how Ruby's interpreted that.
Fair enough, I wasn't there. Where did Ari go? Is he still in there?
What is Ari doing?
Well,
in fact, before
I
we
mean-
find out what Ari's doing, let's have a break. Yeah. Because I'm going to grab a drink and go for a little Dungeon Master's room. Right, we'll be back in about 10 minutes and we'll find out what Ari's doing. Brew break. Bye. Hello, is it us you're looking for? Better be. Right, just before the break, Ruby, in true Ruby style, hates wizards. Harry, in true Harry style, probably getting pissed somewhere. Sapphire, true Sapphire style, opening magical portals to God knows what house. And Caspian, in true Caspian style, knitting. So.
I love how the needlecraft changes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, every single time.
I'll go around houses. It'll be bricklaying next. Right, so.
I mean, it sounds like the place needs it. So.
You definitely earn a killing here. Ruby and Kess, you're having a quiet conversation. Sapphire has just headed back up from talking to Sarsarin and Mita of the Hakamori. Harry, what are you doing, Yawny McStevenson?
Being tired. So it's now.
We've got not long to go. Not long to go.
I'm tired. Harry is gonna actually take on board what Dean has said to him and just be like, "Fucking man up, piece of shit."
Wow.
To himself, and then actually go back to him and be like, "Okay, we should probably go and try and speak to Stefan. You do know that he goes by a different name in the Echo Realm, or has done in the past."
Who? Stefan?
Mhm.
I don't know. I've only tried to reach out to him as Stefan.
He goes by his middle name, so Arnold.
Huh.
Or he did last time he was there.
That might have been a nice piece of information. Just looks towards the door in a bit of a... Right, well, I'm mainly swords and guts and glory, but let's see if I can still do this. Are we off now? You want to go now? Right, cool. Get on the table.
Oh, first and last time out.
Oh, thank you, because I was thinking it real hard.
Someone had to just throw in towel.
Just nice it wasn't me for a change.
Well, I'm trying to help.
Already on the table.
I'm
No, already
still
on the
stuck on.
table.
You're seriously not gonna tell any of us that you're gonna run.
You're not there, Ruby. You're not there.
Before you, no, out of character, just seriously. Like Ruby and Cass both stop and go, he's doing something stupid. That's where Harry is.
There's fuckery afoot. And Sapphire was like,
It's not me.
there's fuckery afoot.
Harry's got the intelligence but no wisdom. We know this.
That is
How many
true.
times has he failed the wisdom check?
I'm pretty sure I was an intelligent person. So Dean starts marking out this glyph with this red like powder chalk on the table. Brings another table over, pushes it together to make the glyph on the other side. Right, you may have done it differently last time, but this has never failed, except that one time. And just starts carrying on chalking it through. Completes it, and as soon as it completes it, it becomes a perfect red light, almost like EL wire going round the tables. The chalk's kind of faded out. He's like, ha! Every time. Woo! Gets up. Just goes, by the oak, this should work. And he starts muttering arcane words. The light of the glyph goes up and kind of makes a wall of light around you in the strange shapes. It is full-on rave-tastic in this room where you were eating. Finishes the incantation after about 50, 60 seconds and just holds your hand. By the oak. You two disappear. You appear on a beach. Very familiar. A beach where Owlbearer held onto Xandria's body while you ascended the Tower of Puku, which is where you know Stefan to be at the top of. The angry little orbs that you had to face before
Go on then. Go on then.
part as Dean just walks through them, and as small children would get out of the way of an angry adult, they just around you two and then reform around you, and he just
Oh, keeping very close to Dean then. He's like, okay, yeah, keeping close to this.
Dean approaches the Tower of Puku. The doors, there was no doors when you were there before. It was more of a just a, what do you call it, an archway leading in, but there is now a arcane barrier there, and he just gestures at it. See, Stefan. He starts shouting out a few more times. Arnulf. I got nothing. And then starts looking around the place. His hand reaches to a sword at his hip. You have a go. I'm just going to have a look around here. And Dane starts kind of moving around the area, like checking behind some of the larger rocks and such. Some of the orbs come closer to him. He turns his head towards them and they back off. What do you do, Harry?
He'll look at the arcane barrier that wasn't there last time. I'm trying to think if he would know enough magic. He's seen Stefan mess with glyphs and
Oh yeah, definitely.
teleport things to know that, like, laying a hand near an arcane barrier may not be the most sensible move in the world, but it'll definitely let you know that someone's there.
Okay.
It's always fun.
Rubs his face on it.
Yeah. This tastes like strawberries.
Do you even bother to check if it's made of iron this time?
I was going to say also, you know, he's been thrown out of enough lovely barriers of things, Natasha and Sasha, to know that it's probably not the most. So probably like hover a hand like near the barrier and just kind of like see if it's gonna like completely throw him across the room or something.
As you get closer to it, you know the what do you call it? Like the iron filings where you put a magnet under a bit of paper. Yeah, and they react to it. That's what the magic of the thing does, where you wave your hand. It kind of reaches out, but not enough, and you are essentially moving these iron filings around, but they're arcane flecks of blue and green.
And probably just kind of like really softly, like especially in comparison to Dean, would just be kind of like, Stefan.
You hear,
There?
Harry? And a very youthful voice. Like, really
Oh
youthful.
no, not baby Stefan. I forgot they was different ages as well. Oh no. Forget all this. It's been like 2 years.
And lower down, you see, again, that iron filing sort of effect moving, as if someone's moving their hand. Harry, are you there, Harry? You just hear Dean go, we should stick together. Just like looking around the place.
He'll kind of just gesture over with one hand, so he'll kind of like have a hand out with one and then be like, come here kind of thing. And then kind of like reach towards where you can see them moving. Like reach kind of down.
Do you touch?
Yeah.
As you touch, you fall forwards through the arcane barrier. You turn around, you can see, as if looking through glass, Dean running at the door. Get to there. Bangs on the arcane barrier several times. Shit. Xerxes is going to kill me. Stood before you is a very small 3 or 4 year old Stefan. Jet black hair, spitting image of yourself, bit more leaning towards your mother's looks. Cherub-like super wizard. Hello, Harry. And just dives onto your legs, starts hugging you.
Hey, Stefan. Do you want to let my friend in?
No, he's too small. Follow me. And just starts waddling towards the spiral that leads up. And you can hear Dean like, Harry! Ah.
He'll try and send a message through to Dean.
As soon as the magic leaves your mind, just as if a fish flopping on the floor.
I figured that might be the case, but he's gonna try because he's dumb. And he'll kind of know he's on his own with the baby Stefan. Just be like, cool. We go upstairs now, I guess.
Cool. If you remember the last time you ascended the Tower of Puku, there were platforms in all strange sort of positionings on the way up there, and they all held these blue orbs. Some were plinths with all these sea creatures carved into the stonework, with larger spheres of a variety of shades of blue to these glass orbs. The more you go up there, you notice that following little nipper Stefan, just plodding away, keeps checking on you, calling you slow coach and all this. You notice that the carvings are no longer of sea creatures. They are instead of a person in a variety of different robes, hood up, hood down, big like wide-shouldered robes, like holding their hands in the air with fire coming out of it, and it's all in stonework. All these different sculptures and engravings, and all these different pillars as you move up. The orb, the sphere that sits atop of the plinths is no longer a blue. It has got a sort of like a silvery green to it. It's strange. It's like almost metallic seaweed coloration to the spheres, but all the plinths and the pillars, all these stone little statuettes and stuff that were originally of like whales and dolphins and leviathans and sea drakes and stuff, all these wonderful sea creatures, all seem to be varying ages of a robed figure performing magics of sorts. Some of them have a older, clearly magical person with a younger person on their shoulders, and again they're all carved into all these stones with these silvery green spheres. What you do notice that wasn't there before are like coffins, but made of stone with beautiful arcane scriptures all around them, and they are nicely laid out around these statuettes, these plinths and statues and such. It is akin to a family tomb, all the way up, and you see maybe a dozen, 2 dozen as you get higher, and you remember the tower being incredible. Like it was a hell of a walk. And baby Stefan, well, toddler Stefan. You all right? Come on, don't be slow. I'm waiting for you up there.
What's upstairs, Stefan?
Me.
Is it nice to you, or?
I mean, I'm always the nice one, Harry. You were always the little looks around, little shitbag. And just kind of does this broad grin that he's got away with swearing.
I ain't gonna tell Mother if you're not.
That's all right. Mum's not here.
Come on then.
Go on, let's go. And just keeps pottling up. You get to the platform where you fought yourselves, or a flavour of. There is a single statue that is the perfect likeness of Stefan when he was about 18, 19, with a book out in front of him. The book is open, all in a single piece of stone, and sat all around him like a nursery are children, all the same likeness of this young Stefan that's in front of you.
You kind of gesture towards it and just be like, "They upstairs?"
Well, yeah, that was me a while ago, but I passed on since then. So we make statues when we pass on. I don't like to say the other word, but just a reminder of ourselves. Don't worry about it though. Don't worry. It's nice. It took a long time to do it. And he leads you through to the room where you saw the mirror, and it was a place of almost accommodation, like at the top of the tower. This was very much it was somebody's living aboard when you were last here. When you get there, it is immaculate. There are potion bottles, scrolls, a library of books, all these strange antique items and artifacts. I mean, Stefan was never into like heavy armour and swords and such, but there are beautifully crafted pieces. If it's just a single pauldron on a stand, a curved blade similar to those that when Sapphire speaks of the Vey dynasty, or you've seen those from that land. There are snapshots, tapestries of all the lands. There are several more mirrors ornately in their surroundings of the glass. There's a couple of mirrors that the glass is black, but is definitely glass. This is, if you were to tell a tale on the wall, a wizard's heaven. This is all manner of magical item. And the thing that overwhelms you the most is not the glorious power that's radiating from this room, but the fact there is about 15 Stefans in there, all ranging from toddler in front of you, young adult, teenager, middle-aged, height of the peak of their life, going on to older, going on to walking around with a cane, and the oldest is sat in a rocking chair in front of one of the black glass mirrors, just pottering away. And they all seem to be almost Santa's workshop in it. They're all like backwards, apart from the guy in the wheelchair, all backwards and forwards, moving stuff around, using magical mage hands and telekinesis and such to move all these potions and tools around, jewels everywhere. Some of them just like chunks, like they've been found in a mountain and just taken. They're not cut all nice and pretty. It is incredible sight, and they all turn and in various levels of youthful pitch, you get a cacophony of Harry, stop, Harry. Old man Stefan. And I'll adjust my camera and bring it back. There we go.
Harry was not expecting to see this many different Stefans. He kind of got an inkling on the way up, but he was also like, okay.
Come on, follow me. And the young one that grabs hold of you, like 2 fingers, and is like, over here. And you see one of the Stefans comes towards you and is maybe about 18. Comes towards you, already decided that their hairstyle will be similar, like quiff to the side. Not if quiff to the side's a terminology for hair. I'm bald, alright, just give me a break. They brushed it to the left. Comes towards you and is beaming. I mean, they're all beaming at you, but they kind of give way to this late teen to come towards you and just embraces you, tears running down his face. The rest all kind of look on and have that awe moment, and the nippers are kind of looking chuffed. But he steps back holding your hands. You always were the beautiful one, brother. I can still cast Fireball better than you.
He always cast Fireball better than me. Almost like I couldn't cast magic.
Well, how are you doing?
Better for seeing you, I think.
Obviously. Welcome to Casa de Rycroft.
There's a lot of you.
There is. There always is. It's difficult at times, but it's easier being separated. Gives me moments of clarity. Less so when I never knew I was such a pain in the arse as a child.
You were definitely in the house of child.
Travelled all the way to the realm of echoes to confirm what we already knew, brother.
Yeah. You wouldn't let people in, so I guess I had to come and talk to you properly.
Oh, the halfling. Banging on the door for who knows how long. But
You're trying to get in to talk to you.
I'm aware of Dean. Dean was there when I was at the Darshal Adusian.
That's why I'm confused that you didn't let him in, because you know who he is. And you know he was trying to help.
It's not easy to trust. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons to not let folk in. So I set the barrier up that only my bloodline could pass through.
That makes sense.
I mean, if Dean had got through, I'd have probably questioned you, or mother, or father.
Well, interestingly enough,
Don't tell me you slept with Dean.
no. You're okay. I've only been there an hour at this point.
How are the rest? I mean, I assume you're still travelling with them and trying to deal with things. It's been a while since. It's just been a while. Just
Yeah, it's...
old Stefan in the rocking chair. Too bloody long. Fireball.
Kind of still gives him like a side eye.
They all counter it. Every one of them counters it.
Yeah.
It's more a fire tennis ball than a. Look.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on. I don't know how much you observe from up here, but
All of it.
Yeah.
The
Did as much.
it turns out, and I've had a lot of time to research, the Tower of Puku is a watchtower. It is an amplifier of echoes. When you do something in a realm loud enough that your spirit echoes out, you can see it from the tower. I've witnessed the true creatures I egotistically didn't believe existed. For unless you can demonstrate power, surely it is story and legend, as on the wall. I witnessed your friend, Sapphire, drink. I screamed at the mirrors, tried to break through the glass. He could not hear me. I saw Toodles? I saw Toodles take a fatal blow fighting fiends near the wall. But they had to retreat. Myself, the one who is in our realm, myself, saved their life. Again, I screamed at the mirrors, but was glad to see a friend of yours not fall. I've witnessed your druid friend Ruby. There is celestial energies about her that are stronger than some. I know there are those of faith, but your friend Ruby walks with it as it is as natural as breathing. I also saw what you did for Xandria in the lock. I didn't want to point out the obvious, Harry, but you do look like shit.
You said I was very handsome before.
I've also lied to you many times, my brother. And I have to say that. We look alike.
True. True.
Xandria does care for you. From what I've seen, you all care for each other, but the heart was never my strong point, was it, dear brother? Shut up. Shut up, Jade. I accept
Really?
it. You said Jaeger Xandria. I'm Jaeger in Xandria. She is madly in love with you.
I mean, I think Jade would has also role played the same thing, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a lot. Glad you've seen it.
I don't intend to go back.
You don't intend to come back
To our home. To our place.
but why? But you wanted this.
Because if I go back, all of this, and you now see that a lot of the Stephans are the young ones are kind of just looking at the ground and kicking the floor. The older ones are standing a bit more solemn and just nodding towards you. All becomes me again. No clarity, no focus. Broken as I was before I came here. This place gives me peace. It's been over a century I've been here now. I've passed on several times. It's strange attending your own funeral. More so the 10th time over. It's my anchor, my focus. I've searched for many magical cures to amend the broken echo from the strike I received. I found nothing. But I have become quite the dab hand of controlling my environment here. The Realm of Echoes is a strange resource of magic that Colossus is not tapped into.
What were those left?
Say again?
Plane?
Say-
What of those left on the other plane? Darius and the dad and me.
Bring them here to visit. It's not easy. I mean, Dean is putting a lot of himself into coming here, and will suffer for it. It's an anomaly, is the Realm of Echoes. It's not part of anything. It's a way station that happened to be somehow created in among everything. It's difficult to explain. And Darius will get to live. I don't know how. I think of Darius a lot. And even though the amount of time that has passed, it's... I will talk of Darius another time.
Do you want me to bring them here?
If opportunity arises, it would be nice to see them, or at least say goodbye face to face and introduce them to their strange little grandchildren. One of the little ones goes, "That's me." Weirdest sentence I've ever said in my life.
A little bit. Bit weird. Didn't think you'd have grandchildren like this, but you know.
Strange way to tell Darius he's a father as well. So, yes,
Very
please
nice
do
to
bring
have an
them.
uncle. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, Harry. There's definitely little fledgling eagles fluttering around out there.
No, there's not. No, Stefan, no. Mm-mm.
I'm just saying.
No.
You don't take after our grandfather for nothing. And yes, I do know.
Do you know? Okay, I wondered. You probably know more than I do, to be fair.
Always.
I mean, you always did. Smart ass.
Always will. Dumbass.
Just give him a big hug again.
Look, come here. And he hugs you back and then breaks away and leads you over to this very ornate workbench. I have this. It is... I don't know... I know what it should do, but it has been made here. How its magic manifests in a realm of reality, in a material realm, I'm unsure. And he hands you a... It's almost like... Like he hands you light. Like there's nothing to... You can't squeeze it. But he plucks from the table. There's nothing there. And then you just see a pinprick of starlight. And it grows enough to maybe the size of a ping pong ball. And just passes it to you. But again, there's no grip on the thing. And then he picks up a small statuette that is completely androgynous. No detail, nothing. Just arms, legs, torso, baldy head. Yep. It's not me. And hands it with the light. This is a... think of it as a scroll, or an item of power that allows you to cast magic. Within this light, there is an imprisonment spell. It is of the highest magics. It has cost me my ability to throw these highest magics into my works, but it was fine. Who am I going to throw it at anyway? If this imprisonment is cast upon a person, or a creature, an entity, there is nothing in the... who am I talking to? Kind of laughs. There is nothing in the magic of Colossus, whether it be god, demon, the dragons that don't exist anymore. If I had more time, I'd tell you all about the dragons. All are real, and all have a spirit, a soul, a life force of sorts that can be extinguished, and therefore must resist certain magics. This is the highest level of magic. Whoever you try to imprison with this will have to try and resist it. There is no waving of a hand. Even those that are lifeless, even those that wield blood magic, even myself in another guise, sharing a meal with our family right now. Nobody will be able to simply avoid it. If they fail their resistance, they will be imprisoned forever, eternally, unless, of course, the person who created it dispels the magic. And that was me. The statuette you must carve into the likeness of the person or the creature or the thing you wish to imprison. Your will guide the carving of the statuette. When you decide, the statuette will take form as you work it with the blades. I'm sure you've got a knife or two.
Not being funny, Stefan, but my blade did something similar where it tricked me into promising souls to it. I'm not entirely trusting of this, I'm not gonna lie.
You mean Eagle's Promise, a blade of the vagabonds, the creatures of chaos, a sword that feeds off souls. I'm aware.
Yeah, that one.
I'm aware of your relationship with the blade. And I repeat, dumbass. But that one's nice. From Kesrion's sister, I believe.
You really have been very observant.
A couple of 100 years will do that to you. And besides, I'm very high up. And when you look, there is, you didn't notice it before, but there's almost a balcony and a lovely banister area outside. You look out and it is the sea that you saw when you first sailed to this beach where the tower was, and it just stretches miles and miles and miles and miles. I'm not deciding who you use it on or if you use it at all, but I know Ruby has an anchoring for certain punishments, it seems. It's up to you if you tell her, but you decide the form of imprisonment. Eternal sleep, chained, turned into a tree. It is powerful.
Anything worse, to be honest.
Here's the downside, Harry. You don't have to be attuned to it to use it. If you drop it into your enemy's hands, they can use it. It will take you approximately 60 seconds, and that's at a guess. I don't do a lot of guessing. To form your statuette. And then around 6 seconds to use the magic within. For anyone. It is a little bit of an ego shout, but it is my power they have to resist, not yours. But that doesn't mean they will fail. It just means I put everything into it I can.
Mel, you're 7 miles away from your mic.
Sorry.
Be emotionally loud at me.
No, don't be emotionally loud. Struggle. What was I gonna say now? Okay. He'll just kind of like frown at him and just be like, well, yeah, it just depends on who we decide to use that against. But it will be very useful. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'll just give him another hug again. Just be like, just want to hug my brother.
He hugs you back. Back in the reality. What are you three coconuts doing?
I mean, I'm going to go tell the person whose name I have forgotten for the 3rd time.
I mean, I do use really complicated names.
Xerxes?
You've got
Yeah,
Xerxes,
it's the other one.
Rose,
Rose.
Hick, Ro.
Hickrow. That's who I need to go speak to. I need to go speak to Hickrow and let them know that Mata and Slytherin are coming here. Don't block the teleportation.
He adjusts his glasses on his nose, folds all the books and scrolls that he's constantly got like hanging off his shoulders and his hips and his wherever. They're just kind of like scroll bandoliers all over the place. Straightens his robes, puts his glasses back up. I hate Mita. And walks off.
Just confused Sapphire.
Cass and
Okay.
Ruby, you doing anything?
Oh, especially.
Once he kind of
Killing the
sees that
teddy, make up.
Ruby's just gonna... He's having flashbacks to Xandria at a similar age,
Yeah.
and he's like, I know that you gotta pick your battles in life. Some are thrust upon you, like demons coming over a wall. Still would choose that over trying to reason with
Amen.
a young woman who has decided what she is doing. And is just kind of like follow after Sapphire's like, you know what, she's not going to hurt anybody because she's not going to interact with anybody. And he's kind of hoping that he passes Ari and Drea while he's keeping an eye on the others. Like, okay, damage minimized there. Right, hopefully we can
You passed Drea,
keep an eye on...
but there's no sign of Harry.
Drea, have you seen Ari?
I left him with a halfling. I'm not his keeper. I don't know where he is.
I'm not worth it. You want to keep an eye on Ruby?
Yeah, go
I'm
on then. She'll walk over. For some reason, all my NPCs do that. All little
Smooth
bobbleheads.
bit,
Yeah. What are the little with the big heads and the little bodies that wobble?
Bobbleheads.
Are they bobbleheads?
Yeah.
All little bobbleheads. Colossus is full of bobbleheads. Are you catching up to Sapphire?
Yeah, as much as anyone ever catches up to Sapphire. I
Like-
feel like I give you a good run for your money.
Yeah,
As
Kess
long
is,
as you don't
Kess is
scare-
quick.
As long as you don't
Yeah.
cast like haste or anything, then
I mean, not as fast as old Sapphire.
no.
No, back when Sapphire was Tabaxi. Sapphire just turns to Kess and goes, "Okay, actually think I've done a good thing this time." So I contacted Saisturin. So one, the cure seems to be going well, which is nice.
Great.
Sensei Rin, I think, is going to be free from his captors soon. But also, we have a bit of a lead on what the True are after.
Cool. I think. I mean, good to know, but not great that they're after stuff. But sure.
Yeah, but it means at least, we can maybe interrupt some plans while, messing with other people's plans. And
Yeah. Have you seen Ari?
oh, Sapphire kind of pauses and looks around. No, I thought Ari was with Sandria.
Me too, but apparently she's not a skipper. So.
Sounds like her.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And I was kind of hoping that maybe he'd gone with you to maybe contact his family with the thing, but
You don't think he would have? I mean, that's a me thing to do. Like rushing off to go into the realm of echoes without the rest of us.
like Kess has already like pivoted and headed back towards where they had food. He's like, no. Oh, no, we.
Can I just clarify from the DM? Is this after I've told about the thing? Because I want to go after Kess, but if this is being caught up with before I told the boss whose name I forgot again.
Hickory.
Yeah, because for some reason my brain it sounds like Rose. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, there is a Rose and a Hickrow.
Yeah,
so
Hickrow.
I'll let you off.
Yeah, as long as I've already told Hickrow, then I'll go after Kess.
You've already told Hickrow.
Cool. I'll go after Kess as
Hickrow is
well.
off to prepare said circle of doom, and you go after Kess. As you both go back into the room where you had your food, there is some obvious drops of alcoholic liquid where they may have shed hip flasks, and a very large red chalked out arcane glyph on two tables pushed together.
Little bitch. If he comes back alive, Sapphire, I'm killing him myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to talk, but even I would have. I mean, that's
In
where
fact,
I
you know
fucked up
what?
in the
No,
first
I'm
place.
not going to touch him. I'll let Bria do it.
Well, that's just mean.
No, look at it. Look at it. We're here, what, a couple of hours, and he's already gone in a fucking circle.
Oh man, I hope he's okay.
He
I don't-
just responded and let me at him. Yeah.
Yeah. Jade in the chat.
Because now there's literally nothing we can do.
Well, no, because the thing took him. Yeah. It's not like any of us can just pop into the realm of echoes. Piss, we just got to sit around and wait, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Back over to Harry. It feels like it's got late into the evening. You just feel that just in your body, Harry. Like you've been sat here for hours and you're probably just chin-wagging away. There's that real silly in-joke of Stefan keeps introducing you to himself for various ages. This is your nephew, Stefan. This is your nephew, Stefan. And you're having a bit of a giggle about it. You share a glass of wine. You're unsure of where Stefan got the wine from, but it's tart. It's very nice. Nutty. But I don't drink a lot of wine either.
I was going to say, I love it.
Look, my
grapes then.
NPCs can't all be bald, all right? They can't all drink Dr. Pepper. I've got to throw some culture in there. It's a bit jam-tarty, almondy. I'll Google wine next time. And yeah, it does feel like you've spent a day there. What starts to feel a little bit off is you can recall the last couple of days spent with your brother here in the realm. Like if you were to start talking about, I remember yesterday when I did that thing with the sword and you did that thing with the cantrip, and you're remembering the last few days, and Stefan just puts his hand on yours. It feels it's been maybe 4 or 5 days. It's time for you to go, brother.
Yeah, didn't I leave someone outside?
Dean's still there waiting. He won't go without you. He really, really doesn't like the fact that he's deep down a wizard.
Yeah, let him in next time.
He'd have to marry one of ours.
Doubtful, but you know. No, I'm not, Stefan. No, 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 no.
You need to go.
I'm going. I'll give him like one final hug.
Just, if you see Darius, just tell him. And just kind of leaves it there.
And he'll kind of like, as he's kind of recalled to the fact that he's left everything behind and left Dean outside and gone, don't get murdered. And kind of like, we'll hurry back down the stairs a little bit
There's
more.
space
than
for
what he-
another.
Yeah, I was about to say, have you got a spare bed? Can I have the sofa? I'll take the sofa.
I'll stay here, thanks.
The Stefan that first brought you up is about 10 now.
What?
And escorts you down, you know, just kind of every now and then standing on the tiptoes. Can't believe you're the tall one. Just keeps walking down. You get to the bottom, gets to the doorway, the arcane barrier, and you can see Dean sat outside, cross-legged, 2 swords in his lap, tartan just off to one side, with a cantrip of fire in his hand, just staring at the barrier, pissed.
Oh no. He'll kind of give little Stefan a little hug as well and just be like, look after your
Myself, I'll
father.
look after myself. It's a
Yeah, look
bit. We
after
don't do
yourself.
that. It's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? A bit weird. Yeah, look after yourself. And he'll kind of like pass through the barrier, but kind of as far from Dean as he can. So like if Dean's here, he'll be like, I'm gonna go over here so I don't get fireballs.
So,
Because I know what that feels like.
10-year-old Stefan steps aside, and just gestures for the barrier. As you step through, the cantrip disappears. Dean gets up with the 2 swords. Where the have you been? I've been here for 4 days, 5 days. I've been here too long. We need to get back. What is Stefan coming with us? What's going on? Is he still up there? Is he still alive? Are we in danger? Just starts looking around.
We'll walk and talk, Sorry, didn't know it was that long.
Stefan, I know.
He's...
Stefan, I know.
Stefan's not coming. He can't come.
Well, poop. Right.
Yeah.
Right, let's get home. I need a shave. Starts marking out in the sand the same glyph that you saw before. Fills the grooves in the sand with the red chalk powder. Mutters the incantations. Red lights go up. And you appear on the table where you left. And staring up at you is a very large white lion. And a very beautiful warrior fae. Just staring up at you. You're beautiful as well, Safi. Just staring up at you.
Sapphire crosses his arms, makes a It's trying to make an angry kind of face, but it's kind of grinning as well.
I mean, Caspian looks angry.
Oh yes, Sapphire's like totally like a little bit behind. Like not behind, but like it's taking a bit of a.
I'm gonna let you tell Xandria what you just did.
Aristotle Sebastian Rycroft.
He looks like he's gonna punch somebody.
Flashback to a D&D laugh where I literally yelled that as my NPC across the bar at Grace, who was playing Ari, which was real fun. Always fun to shout at yourself. Right, it's a little bit Stephanus.
I do it every day.
He'll kind of like just immediately kind of just start babbling as he kind of comes out the thing, just being like, "I'm sorry, I didn't realise it was so long. Stefan kept me there, and he's fine." And yeah, kind of just looks at Andrea, just being like,
How long has it been for us?
Sandria's not there. It's only Kess and Saf.
No, they've caught you.
It's
You're gonna get to explain what you did.
It's only been as long as described to yourselves talking around. Like you went in there, realised, and then
Hour and a half,
a few,
max.
yeah, if that. Whereas Ari, you've been gone a week. Like when you come through, there's full on, there's beard.
You've not been gone that long. It's more the fact that you did it without us.
"We've been gone
After
like,
what happened last time.
yeah." I really need to speak to Stefan.
Well, this looks like a you problem. Dean just walks.
No,
past.
you helped him.
Yeah. There's a grown ass Rycroft.
Yeah, so you should have known better. Have you ever listened to one of them?
I tried several times. The other one's got a bit of brains about him.
Twice as dangerous.
He's alive. What's up with you?
Fucking wizards. He just leaves. It's like, nah.
Sapphire hangs back a little bit and goes, "How long were you there for?"
About a week.
Yeah, you've been gone about an hour to us.
Dane don't look shocked.
Cool. Walks off.
Tell you what, Harry. Mates are pissed at you. Know what that means? Means to give a shit. Or you've cost them a lot of gold. I'll let you decide.
Hess is going to track down Xandria. Let her deal with him.
Sandria's got one of them long, 1920s cigarette holders.
And he'll just kind of like wander up the sides. Like, I'm presuming she'll be like watching people fight or whatever while Ruby's growing stuff in the gardens. Is it?
This is probably the first time Xandria's been around people that acknowledge her true fae aura.
Yeah.
Like, yours is a deliberate sort of, not suppressed, but your fae aura is close-knit, being a creature of the water and such, whereas she's summer, and because of her illness, was never able to truly glow. But you can tell the mentors and the students as they pass, or Xandria just kind of takes a couple of steps, they can't help but see what this in their periphery is. Very much like being in a forest. Little sneaky bastards. But she does obviously see you coming towards her.
Just when you're finished what you're up to, you might want to go and ask Ari where he's been the last couple hours. Without telling any of us. With Dean.
With Dean? Fucking halflings. There's any bike sheds around here?
He's just going to leave it at that. And I'll let Jade pick up on that little plot hook when she comes back next week.
Yeah, I think Jade will have fun with it.
At least we know what the first half of the session is going to be about.
the consequences of your actions.
One of the central towers, probably one of the only ones left with a roof, there is light, bright blue, that shines out of every gap in the stonework, all the little windows that have been chiselled in, and you hear a bit of a woo woo. Hikro walks out of the doorway at where this clearly teleportation circle is, and following him is Cicerin, and just for Mita Yasushi of the Hakamori follows out, full armour, absolutely kitted to the nines, the white sash with the half dying flower, the blooming other half of the flower on the top of the shoulder, a curved katana-like longsword at his hip, and on his back is a spear that the head of the spear is the same length as the shaft of the spear, but you, Sapphire, are very aware that the Hakamori use these are magical spears that extend up to like 6-7 feet and can be used, and they're very, very capable. For Sean/Sapphire, the Hakamori are tomb guardians. They protectors of tombs, burial places, anywhere that the dead are given a true resting place. To a lot of these, the folk that walk the path of the Hakamori, these soul guardians, like I said, these tomb guards. Mita Yasushi is a unofficial leader. Has got a bit of a rep about them for when it's been necessary for the Hakamori to go in and deal with the corruption of death and its cycle. Hakamori's got a bit of a good rep of being, well, you want him on your side. And you see Cicerin, casual kimono, carrying a couple of scrolls, looking about the place in bewilderment at this ruined castle in Ravenholm. He's not travelled. He's life in the temple, and now he's been dragged into this stuff. And they're kind of further down from where you were when you come out where you were eating. They're on the next level down. And you can
How far down is it?
Diagonally from where you are, about 60 feet. You're just gonna like full on. I'm Batman.
I can both run on walls and I can slow my fall. So yeah, I'll and I will land and immediately big deep bow.
Nice. I like that. That's good.
I was like, I know what Sean's gonna do.
Yeah.
Gotta be dramatic.
Fuck off.
Mita will bow as far as you do and equal it. And then stand back up. Cicerin gets completely, just fucks it. Like tries to like back, realizes Mita's gone lower, and then it's just standing on his kimono. Yeah. Just in the end, just salutes.
So Sapphire waits until Mita straightens before straightening, and as will help sigh as much as he can.
Hikro.
Sigh's wishing he'd went for finger guns instead at this point.
Yeah. Hikro does not take part in the bows and such. He just watches.
Thank you for coming. I think we've got a lot to talk about.
Most definitely. Well, gather your friends. Well, there is a lot to talk about. I'm going to need your help, and you're going to need mine.
Yes, indeed. Hikro, where will you be? I could get them quite quickly, but where would you like us to meet? I would presume to take a room from you.
Well, don't worry, the presumption's already happened. And just look straight at Mita. I have a quarters that I use for my revisions and research. It is large enough we can seat and plan without the intrusion of food and drink. Good, lead on. And Hikro just throwing his arms in the air. This way.
Quick hand on Sai's shoulder and just be like, we'll catch up properly in a bit.
Definitely. Mate is a bit of a scary bastard, so I'm just gonna stand behind you if you don't mind.
If you're going to hide behind someone, it might as well be me.
He's still very light. I mean, you look even like bigger in real life.
Has been a little bit. I've been through quite a lot since. Go get settled.
Okay. And just starts following Mita and Hikaro.
And Sapphire will full on Naruto run to go get the others.
Yeah. As Sapphire comes round, gathering you all, what do you tell him, Sapphire? So I don't know if Ruby's going to attend or not.
That is absolutely legit. I will tell them a little bit about the Hakamori. I'll explain that they protect tombs and burial places. Mita Yasushi, who is here, is quite important in the Wei dynasty, quite important in Clan Desagurin specifically. But yeah, very well known.
Just for clarity, yeah, that's it. Just for clarity, he's not important in the dynasty through rank or hierarchy. No. It's just reputation.
Respect, reputation. Yeah. And we'll just say that they're quite serious, but they're very important. They know a lot about what's going on with what we're dealing with, and they have some interest in the three ladies that I've caused issues with. But they think they know what they're after, and I think we could do with getting in their way, to be honest, if we can. So, and also Saisurin has come as well. He's a friend, and I'd like to introduce you to him properly. So I think we did get a brief. Thing because he was kind of fancying Ruby. Sapphire literally says that. That's not Sean. That's Sapphire. But we'll go. So I'm sure he'll be keen to see you again. But yeah, if everyone wants to come, like you're not forced to, but I know some of you will find this interesting. I'm sure.
Lead on.
Yeah.
Will do so.
As you follow where Hikaro, Mita, and Saisurin went, it is as you approach the broken, sort of ruined, almost pantry-like wreck of what's at this part of the castle. There is a curtain that just hangs down in front of where the back of the pantry would be, and you see Hikaro holding the curtain as Mita and Saisurin walk through a completely black, like portal, like just completely black, full on magical darkness black, and just gestures towards it. Well,
looks at the others and then goes for it.
What is it with the jumping through portals when you don't know where they go?
It's perfectly fine. It's safe. It's just privacy.
Oh,
Friends.
No,
Mutters
sorry,
under breath.
No, it was about him, not you. More that he didn't even ask. Just like expression on her face, mirror of Cass's.
Yeah.
Like, do you see what we put up with people pushing buttons and jumping into portals?
I may.
But if Cass goes in, and Ruby will follow him.
I have to teach 8 students. I'm very aware. And he just kind of looks at the floor. Do you all follow through? In whatever facial expression you so wish. Hikaro will be the last one in.
I suspect he's probably just been chastised, so, 'cause that's
Oh, I think he's still got the full brunt of that.
That's not happened yet. That's not happened
Nope.
yet.
Okay, no,
Xandria follows, as she would, just throws an eyeball over to Harry while she preps her monologue for next week. Stepping through this magical dark portal, it's only a couple of inches. Like, you literally step through and you're in a room. It's not like a 60-foot globe or anything. But it is a much larger space than you would expect walking out the back of a ruined castle pantry. Almost like a pocket dimension. And it is a very nice, well-ordered office. Very akin to Rombrick's. just without the chaos of admin.
A dragon.
Yeah, and a dragon. Yeah, you see a dragon. But yes, there is a large oval table. There are parchments and half created maps and such on there, but it's all nicely placed out. Several chairs, could probably have a dozen people sat around this oval table. It's just a very nice office. There is a couple of flavours of incense burning, one on each side of the room that Sapphire remind you of home. Mainly the blossoms when you visited around the other greater clans. Mita immediately takes a seat, just the nearest one to him, sits, adjusts weaponry, puts arms on table in front of him. Saisarin walks 2 or 3 chairs away from Mita, sits. Hikro just gestures you all. Please, take a seat. Just going to assume you won't take a seat.
Yep, also,
Yeah.
I was waiting. I didn't know if
Oh,
someone would
absolutely.
like pull a fireball or like lightning strike, change into a unicorn. You all sit, take a seat. Who sits opposite Mita?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. And as you all take your seats,
someone's going to do something stupid, you know.
Oh, absolutely. But Sapphire is very much like, this is like, I guess because Sapphire expected to have to be dealing with the Hikomori at some point. Like, there's a little bit of like hero worship happening here. Sapphire's just like,
yeah. And as we settle down for that conversation and the return of Xandria, true Xandria, we'll call the session there because shit's going to get deep. So yeah, thank you very much. That's it. That's session 79 over and done. Next week will be session 80. 80.
it's crazy to me.
Is over 10 days worth of audio content for anyone who would be interested in knowing that. Back-to-back hours.
Jesus.
10 whole human days.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah. Just
in case anyone wanted the stats on that.
I mean, you what, a year and a half for sessions? Yeah.
More than that, I think now.
So what is it, 52 a year? 80?
Yeah, but we had a break, didn't we?
Oh yeah, but I mean just in sessions. Like if you like
Oh yeah.
that's a year and a half.
If there were no gaps
yeah.
at all, yeah.
1 a week, year and a half of sessions. Someone says stats. Yeah. I don't good luck. Right. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed your Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next Tuesday for session 18. I believe Spelljammer will be on tomorrow, dungeon mastered by Rich from Dance of the Beholder. Don't think we've got any streams on this weekend, except maybe Chronicles of Needham, and then we're back next week again and doing it all again. Woo! Thank you very much for the follows and the subs and shouting about it and all that good stuff, sponsors, etc. Looking forward to our charity stream coming up in a few months, literally. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, for now, say goodnight, players.
Good
Good
night,
night,
players.
players.
Bye bye.